Hey guys, welcome to the Kitschworks Network. I am here with Kim, and she is our first featured female on the Kitschworks Network channel here on YouTube, and I'm super excited to have her here today. So Kim, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and tell us what we're going to be learning today.
I am Kim Holden with Kim Holden Coaching, and I'm an intimacy and relationship coach. So I coach individuals and couples who want to find out better ways to be connected, more effective communication, and my events center around authentic relating, sensuality, and ways to make safe places to learn about each other.
Okay, so why I had Kim on is because, first of all, being single and a woman, and I know that all of my ladies out there can relate to this, you don't always know what feels good, and a lot of things come up around food and libido, and that's not always what goes hand in hand. So I wanted to have Kim on today to kind of walk us through the myths and what we can do in order to increase our love life, whatever that might be for you, and how it relates to food. So let's get started. I'm super excited to have her on. So the first question is, a lot of people ask, like, what foods do I need to eat in order, to have better sex? Like, what does that look like? Is that like a myth? Is it kind of a myth? Tell me a little bit about it.
It's my opinion that when you feel good in and of yourself, like you feel healthy, you feel sensual, you feel like you're fit, even sexy with the kind of clothes you wear, the foods that make you healthy in general are going to boost, not necessarily directly boost libido, but they give you that sense of feeling good. So common sense things like lots of green leafy vegetables, fruits, making sure you're taking in enough water, and you're getting some type of movement in each day so that you feel good about the body and the skin that you're in. Yeah.
So along with like just eating really healthy, do you also feel like that and exercise is even gonna more just make you feel amazing?
Yeah, I think that it's a bundle, right? It's yoga is purported to be a really great place, especially for women, around feeling good in your body and more limber, more ability to move in different directions. Obviously can help with sports, it can help with bedroom, it can help with lots of things. Just because you've practiced and you've stretched your body, and you can really live in that space in and of yourself. I'm glad you're talking about myths. I feel like I'm all over the place, but there are a lot of myths about I have to find the perfect partner and they're going to give this good sex to me.
Right.
And it's really the other way around. It's like when you feel good about you and you feel healthy and fit and you're well rested and all that, our healthy sexuality comes from that place.
So I almost feel like it's kind of like other things in life. Like once you feel really good about yourself, like the things kind of just like they attract to you. Am I kind of off base or on base with that?
Exactly.
Okay.
So where the attention goes, the energy follows, right? And showing up as a confident, fit, healthy woman goes a long way with our work, with our relationships, with our sensuality, and how we feel in our own skin, and of course it relates back to our practice of sex as well.
So like when you have like you're coaching couples or individuals come in, especially individuals, I know a lot of the girls watching this channel are single and they struggle with this, and it's kind of like not a comfortable thing to talk about. I feel like society's made it really taboo.
Yeah.
What do you notice the most? Like what are the biggest struggles with people, and like something that we could tangibly like have viewers that are watching this do?
Connect with other women.
Okay.
It is not about being bisexual that's not what I'm saying at all. It's having other women that you can trust and feel safe to talk about what's going on in your life and going on with your body. We do this every week. I hold a women's support group that's safe space for women to support other women. I think, again, our society has sort of downplayed that.
Right.
And, I grew up in an era where, you thought you should be jealous of other women, and what if they steal your boyfriend, and, all of that. And it's just simply not true. It's one of the powerhouse supports that we don't utilize enough.
Okay, so connecting with them, like we're doing here. So that's how Kim and I met. We met in a women's kind of a group. It wasn't specifically for women. And it's been amazing, like our journey and the things we discuss, and just makes you feel really, I think, warm and comfortable in all aspects of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my definition of intimacy, is being seen and being heard. And when you can do that in safe space, our vigilance, which is what makes us, watch out for things that might be harmful or are not good for us, our vigilance goes down. And when we begin to be able to trust other women in that sacred space, then it feels good to share and say, oh my gosh, I just had this date and this weird thing happened. Has this ever happened to you? Like, that is part of women embracing their own sensual, sexual selves as well.
So let's flip that. So women being single, it's very unique. What about couples that have been together a long time? So I know some of the people that are watching have been together with their spouse forever, and that's amazing. I wish I had that, and I don't. But what's the difference, or are there any differences?
Recently, some of the couples that I've had that have come into my practice are looking at big life-changing events, like they've either had children, or on the other end, children are graduating, going off to college, and you've spent 18 years basically doing a lot of things that weren't necessarily as focused on each other as a couple. And then you wake up one morning, you're like, who are you? Who am I? Why are we doing this? And that's actually a very common place and time for couples to separate. And so being able to help them identify what their desires are, how to communicate more effectively, and how to have that intimacy and be truthful.
Right.
That was great when we were 20 something. It doesn't feel so hot anymore. And just teaching them and helping them, facilitate with them how to have those kinds of conversations so that they can get back into a resonant place that feels good, connected together. That's what I'm seeing.
So if someone's feeling that way, what is the first thing that they need to identify in themselves? And then how do you take that piece of information that doesn't feel good, and then kind of maybe start having the conversation with your partner? Because it's going to have that conversation before they come and see you and come to your practice. So what do you recommend to people that are kind of struggling with that imbalance of not really fully understanding how to communicate with their partner how they're feeling?
So the number one thing that I've seen is it's easy to say, well, it's your fault. You're just not doing it right. Right? And really get going. It's just like we were talking about in the beginning. If I feel good, I show up better. I attract more. And so in relationship, being able to say, I'm feeling, I don't like it when you say, it feels weird to me that you do this now. Can we talk about it? What else is possible? Would you be willing to look at something different? So it's having those kinds of opening conversations and truly staying in the curious spot, rather than blame.
And I think too, it's hard. You get to that spot where everything's really new, even for us that aren't married. And then you run through this position of, well, things are starting to kind of dull out. So essentially, it's that dating your spouse thing throughout your whole relationship. And I'm totally springing this on you, but I'm hoping maybe we could collaborate. We could do a little freebie of that's 5 or 10 top new ways to date your partner or something.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will get that for you guys. It'll be on the freebie, and it will be linked down below. So make sure that you go and check that out. I think it'll be really fun. Give you guys some good ideas to the start of the new year, because this is our first episode, you guys. This is January 2020, and it is super exciting to come on here and have people like Kim tell us about their stories and how it relates to women's health and how it relates to food, because everything kind of centralizes around, like you said, how you feel, how food makes you feel. And we all love a hamburger every once in a while, don't get me wrong, but if that's like what we're eating all the time, we're gonna start to not feel super great about ourselves. So one last thing that I wanted to ask you is, when you look at society and you think back to like when you were growing up versus now, do you think that we've made improvements in that space, or do you think there's still a lot of work to be done?
I think overall we are definitely opening and growing and being able to talk about things that were once considered very taboo. And that's my passion. I mean, I want to be that little rock in the middle of the stream that begins to change the course so that women can feel better and have exactly what they desire in relationships.
That's awesome. And I know that you have a new book that has come out, so I wanted to just kind of like spot you on that and tell people about your segment, or you to tell them about your segment, and where that they can like pick it up, because I think it's an amazing piece, and I want to get it out to everybody. So tell me about what you did in this book and how it can help women.
Oh, perfect closer, because it was a group of women, and we all contributed a chapter to the book called She's the Ish. And you can buy it on Amazon, or you can also, I can give you, there's a link on my website where you can go in and purchase it. So, and
we'll put that link down below, you guys, don't worry.
So my chapter, each chapter was on what we perceived as our superpower.
Okay.
And my superpower is creating safe space for women to share and talk about their sexuality.
Awesome. All right, so Amazon, on her website, and I know that you have your website. Where else can people find you if they're interested in working with you, training with you,
going to events?
Going to events, because you travel all over. So if you guys have an organization or something that you want her there to speak, this is your girl. So where can people find you and get all that information?
So Kim@KimHolden.com is my email, and KimHolden.com is the website. And on there you'll be able to find links to the book and links to events, and there's also a link to Let's Chat, which is the place where you can be curious about what coaching might be like, and that's free. I really believe that a coaching relationship is a relationship, and so you start with that first.
Absolutely. So guys, check her out. She is amazing. If you're single, been in a relationship, married, whatever, she is fantastic. So I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me on the first episode of this new series that we're doing in 2020. We will see you all in February. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks.